Coming up on First at 4, a troubled Eastern Kentucky water district will be under new management soon. And water woes continue for some in Hazard. We'll talk to people at one business affected.
And more sunshine moves in for your Thursday, but those rain chances return by Friday. First at 4 is next.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, a new partnership in Martin County was announced today, one that has officials saying they are cautiously optimistic. WYMT's Buddy Forbes was there for a news conference about the county's new water management plans.
Many people in Martin County are now hopeful for the future after today's announcement that a new management group may be getting them out of troubled waters. Concerned citizens gathered in the Martin County Fiscal Courtroom as officials with the Water District announced Alliance Water Resources, a utility management group from Missouri, signed a contract to take over operating the county's water district. Chairman Jimmy Kerr says this means a $3.16 increase for customers, but he believes it is what is best for creating structure in the county's water system.
We know that this is what we need to move ourselves forward because the hole was so deep when we started. We were able to stabilize ourselves, but to really get where we wanted to go, we needed professional management, and that's what Alliance brings to the table.
Now that contract with Alliance Water Resources does not go into effect until January, but those involved say they believe it is a step forward for the community. In Martin County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Officials say the contract will not be public until it is taken back to Alliance's legal team, but has been signed into action effective January 1st. Homes and businesses from Exit 59 to the Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter in Perry County are still under a boil water advisory tonight after a water main broke in Hazard Monday. WYMT's Will Puckett has more from one of the businesses along the way that's impacted.
Big Blue Smokehouse is one of those restaurants that is affected by that boil water advisory when the main water line burst just up the road from them. They say that unfortunately through the winter months this has become somewhat of a common occurrence over the past couple of years, and they're relatively prepared for this. They say that because they do so many catering orders every day, they normally have a handful of sodas or bottled water on hand.
It just depends. We know what's on our catering list or our private room list, time of year, depending on that. We try and do day by day until we know the boil water advisory is lifted. So we stock up.
Really, it's more of just an inconvenience. They usually know about how much they have to plan to get when situations like this do occur. They say that this doesn't affect dishwashing, hand washing, or making sure that those tables are clean because of the sanitation mix that they use to clean those things. In Hazard, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, Hazard Community and Technical College dismissed early and canceled classes tonight because of another water main break near them.
Well, it's been a little bit on that gloomy side today. We talked about those clouds breaking yesterday, but that hasn't happened quite yet, which has kept us a little bit on that cooler side. We'll go ahead and take you to a few of those cameras as we look on top of Buffalo Mountain. You're seeing those gloomy skies. We saw some peaks of that blue and sunshine earlier, but we saw those clouds filter back into the mountains. Looking into Whitesburg, looking like they're finally getting a little peaks of some sunshine over there. Clouds starting to break, and we'll continue to see that as we head into the rest of the evening hours. You're seeing that here, satellite and radar. Those clouds starting to break up a little bit, especially if you're looking down close to that Kentucky into Tennessee border along that southern part of the Cumberland Valley. But the good news is we've been looking at a clean sweep for today, so I haven't had to deal with any of those rain chances, even though it kind of looked a little bit on the gloomy side and the wet side throughout the day today. So you can see it's a little bit warmer down into Cumberland Valley, upper 40s to lower 50s, 50 in Williamsburg, 53 Monticello. A little bit cooler up to the north where they've been dealing with a little bit more of those clouds today, 46 in Moorhead, 47 over into Prestonsburg. So as we head throughout the rest of the evening, we'll remain to see kind of peaks of sunshine, and we'll see those partly cloudy skies as we head into tonight, with temperatures starting to drop just a little bit. But as we head into the next couple of days, tomorrow's looking pretty good, sun and clouds and a little bit warmer, but those rain chances increase Friday and as we head into your Saturday because the cold front's moving in. We'll talk about that and more coming up in just a little bit.
Paige, thank you. The murder case against the woman accused of killing Leanna Brumley in Pulaski County is headed to a grand jury. Danielle Powell is charged with Brumley's murder. Brumley disappeared in May, and police believe some of her remains were found last week. Police say Powell told them last summer that she was forced to kill the young mother. We'll have much more on what came out in court coming up at 6. We now know the name of the victim in a deadly crash this morning that shut down an Estill County road for hours. Kentucky State Police sent reconstruction crews to try and determine what happened. Olivia Russell has the latest on their investigation.
State police say a driver lost control of their truck, crossed the center line, then crashed into another car driving the opposite way. Police say 34-year-old Justin Carson was pronounced dead at the scene after his car was hit. The driver of the truck, 20-year-old Kelsey Wheeler, was taken to UK hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. This all happened around 7 o'clock Wednesday morning on Spout Springs Road. That part of the road was closed for hours as an accident reconstruction team was on the scene trying to figure out why Wheeler lost control of the truck in the first place. Investigators say this area is dangerous and has a lot of crashes because of the curve. That's why they're reminding people to be cautious on the roads.
With the time of year, Christmas, Thanksgiving just around the corner, keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And we just like to remind everyone to drive safe, especially with the holidays around the corner. There's going to be a lot more vehicles on the road, people traveling. So just slow down and give yourself time and just be safe this holiday season.
Officials say there was a second crash as the driver of that car tried to avoid the initial crash, but that driver was not injured. In Estill County, Olivia Russell, WKYT.
And police say this is still an ongoing investigation. A key figure in U.S.-Ukrainian relations took center stage in the impeachment inquiry today. President Donald Trump's hand-picked ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland, says he was following the president's orders when he worked with Rudy Giuliani on Ukraine matters. Sondland testified Giuliani, the president's personal attorney, was demanding Ukraine make a public statement announcing political investigations.
Was there a quid pro quo? As I testified previously, with regard to the requested White House call and the White House meeting, the answer is yes.
The president tried to distance himself from Sondland. Republicans say the inquiry is the latest in a long line of false charges. Now, of course, you just saw the coverage end here on WYMT. There is a break in the hearing right now that is expected to pick back up with more testimony around 5 o'clock or a little after that. We will have that for you on H&I, our second channel, Heroes and Icons. If you're interested in watching the continuing impeachment inquiry hearings, again, the afternoon session will be on H&I beginning around 5 o'clock or so. The Democratic hopefuls wanting to be president are facing off tonight in Atlanta. We are just 75 days away from voters casting their votes in the first primaries. Some of the frontrunners appearing tonight are Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, and Pete Buttigieg. Atlanta's mayor believes voters in her city are looking for stability. The state's 16 electoral college votes are up for grabs in the presidential election.
I think people want a voice of reason right now. There's so much uncertainty and just so much anxiety in people.
The candidates are expected to focus on health care, gun control, immigration, taxes, and who has the best chance to beat President Trump. Actor Jussie Smollett is suing the city of Chicago and the city's police department. Smollett's attorneys filed a countersuit saying criminal charges against the actor were brought forth in bad faith. In January, Smollett said 2 men attacked him and called him racial slurs. They later said they believe Smollett staged the attack to boost his acting career. A prosecutor dropped the charges, saying Smollett forfeited his bail money and completed community service. The city of Chicago sued the actor to recover the $130,000 spent investigating the incident. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this Wednesday afternoon. The Dow closes down today more than 112 points, as it looks like a few of the Harlem Globetrotters were on hand for the opening bell. Well, do you have an Android smartphone? A firm called Checkmark discovered a bug that could allow a hacker to take control of your phone's camera. This means someone could remotely take photos and even record videos without your permission. The phones most at risk, Samsung and Google. The company alerted both of them and they released security patches. Hundreds of smartphones were affected. Straight ahead on First at 4, an Eastern Kentucky native gets his first Grammy nomination. Find out who else was nominated after the break.
And we're going to see some showers coming in Friday, but how long will they stick around? I'll have those details coming up.